Welcome to Sutherland Public School. My name is Leah Woolley and I'm the very proud principal at Sutherland Public School. This video is to support families with enrolment for our school. Unfortunately, we're unable to hold our open day for this year, so we've created a little video that will support you in finding the information you need about our school. Our school has a very proud history of education. There's been a school on this site for over 130 years. Further information is available on our school website if you want to research some more information about our school. We have a large school space with lots of well-resourced learning spaces. We have a desktop computer lab, we have laptop computer lab, we have iPads in classrooms, we have a big green space at the end of our playground, we have an oval across the road at Minerva on the adjoining Minerva School. We have specialist courts in our playground and lots of different activities available within our classrooms for all of our students to engage in great learning. We're very proud of our multicultural school and the very eclectic nature of the Sutherland community. We celebrate this culture and difference and diversity at many opportunities throughout our school year. Lots of opportunities to grow and socially interact and to celebrate our successes. So lots of events are held throughout the school year where children are able to come to interact with each other in a fun way where they're developing their social skills and their confidence. We recognise the hard work that each and every child in our school puts in every day. There's reward systems within our school where they collect endeavours and they're translated into prizes for individuals and for the whole school. We also have special awards that build up towards a banner at the end of 2 years within their normal assembly program. Our vision at Sutherland Public School is that our teachers engage students in a holistic program where we foster a love of learning, that each of our children is known and cared for to achieve their best by the families and the school working together in partnership. We really believe that working together is the best way to support your child. We have a school improvement plan that you'll be able to find on our website, and it talks about the areas that we are currently focusing in. Our first area is learning leaders and leading learning. So this talks about all of us being learners, teachers, all of the staff, all of the students, all of the family, and that we're constantly looking to improve, that we are lifelong learners and that we are making learning independent for our students, that they are able to lead their own learning and become leaders themselves. We have strong foundations and future success. We believe in the underpinning of literacy and numeracy skills for all of our students and know that these strong foundations lead on to success in both those areas but also other areas such as science and history and geography and sport, music, drama, performing arts, creative arts, lots of different areas. We believe in the strong foundation of literacy and numeracy and that we connect to our community so that we all communicate clearly between teacher, child and parent, and that we are able to connect together as a community. We build relationships so that we are able to support the good and the bad that comes with growing up and going through school. Our school is a positive behaviour for learning school. It's called PBL at school for short. And with that, we have 3 expectations: be smart, be safe, be kind. These expectations were developed within consultation with the children, the staff, and the community. Each expectation is broken down into smaller expectations, which you might think of as rules, that we use in each area to encourage our students to have the right behaviour. PBL is an educative behaviour approach. So we teach the children what is the expected behaviour. We model it, we demonstrate it, we practice it, we rehearse it, we give them opportunities to get it right, we give rewards when they do, and logical consequences when they don't. Lots of different variety of activities happening at Sutherland Public School. Performing arts is one of our favourite ways that we can celebrate all of our students and the many different talents that we have. We have choir, we have dance groups, we have band programs, we have the opportunity to act and to really perform and excel in a whole range of activities within our school and also beyond. We believe in sport, fitness and fun. So our students engage in the early years throughout the school in activities where they're developing their skills, they're developing their fitness, and they're developing their knowledge of games, building into being able to play a variety of sports across school. They might play and engage in school sport at school or be able to be selected to represent our school or other levels in different sports throughout the school year. We believe in having lots of exciting and engaging learning activities, and they often culminate in special days across the school. For example, they might be involved in creating a science experiment or science exhibition, or a night of the notable, a passion project, or a different range of activities where the students put a lot of their things together, they do some deep learning, they investigate, they pull it all together and they're able to demonstrate and show their learning to the other students and then their families. Lots of extracurricular activities that make school fun and that link learning to real life experiences. We have some photos here of book parade days, Easter hat parades, and doing extracurricular activities like bringing in a performance band to engage the students in learning, or part of Oz Opera, or a whole range of different activities that we are involved in throughout the year. Our students work together and we really believe in students leading each other's learning and supporting each other in learning. So we have a number of peer programs where they might do buddy reading together, where they might play in the playground to do activities and skills together, where our older children run peer support activities for everybody at school. Opportunities to lead and to learn in our school. So all of our students are seen as leaders, whether they have an official role like these two captains here, or they are just somebody who by nature is a natural leader or given the opportunities to lead different things within their classrooms. We really develop the confidence and the skills of all of our students to be able to become leaders, whether they have a title or not. One of the big questions you might be grappling with at the moment, or if you're looking at an open day slide, is my child ready to start in kindergarten next year? The most important questions I think you probably need to go back and ask your early childhood educator to support you in your decision. It is a difficult time, but you do need to think that there is a long gap between now and your child really starting school full-time in February next year. A lot of learning happens, a lot of maturity happens, and a lot of skills develop. Some good indicators are, is my child independent? Can they put on their own shoes? Can they put on their own clothes? Can they eat their own lunch? Can they go to the toilet independently? Can they blow their nose? Those kind of skills are really good indicators of if my child is ready. Are they able to communicate clearly? Can they tell a teacher if they need the bathroom? Can they tell a teacher if they are sick or unwell? If they are hurt and need help? If they are stuck or lost or worried, will they ask for help? They're really good indicators of if my child is ready. Can they follow instructions? Will they be able to follow the instruction of come and sit on the floor? They do not need to be able to read, write, count, or do learning activities. That's what we're at school for. But they do need to be able to follow the instructions of coming inside when it's inside time, of lining up to come outside when it's outside time, and staying in the same space. If your child is somebody that absconds, then that's a conversation you probably need to have with us and your early childhood educator about what might be best placed for your child. Please Don't be too panicked if you don't think your child is mature enough, or they get upset when they have to share, or they always want to play with the blocks. They're fairly normal expectations and accomplishments of children. We're not too worried about that, but really thinking about that independence, that following instructions, and being able to separate reasonably easily from the parents. Obviously, we have tears and that's okay sometimes, but they're decisions and conversations you probably need to have with your early childhood educator. And then you can come later in the year once you're got a bit more information, you can talk to us. But we don't really know your child, so it's a little bit challenging for us to give too much advice around that. Now is the time to apply to a New South Wales government school if your child is 5 or about to turn 5 and is due to go to school next year. We know that all students need to be in school by the year they turn 6, and they should be starting school at the start of that year when they are turning 6. So if they're a November or December child and they're turning 6, they should be starting the school year in the January of that year that they're turning 6. There's more information on the Department of Education website around that. We break up our enrolments into 2 areas. We have our in-area applications and our out-of-area or non-local applications. In-area applications are fairly straightforward. Everybody has a space in their local public school. You can find that out, which is your local public school, through the website, or you can call your local, what you think is your local public school, and they'll be able to check your address to check you are an in-area applicant. If you're in area, you simply complete the enrolment form, which you can collect from the school or you can download from the Department of Education's website and fill in and submit, either print it or email it to us. When you submit your enrolment form, you do need to provide the child's birth certificate, the child's immunisation records, proof of residential address, and sometimes you might need 100 points of that, so not just one document. You might need a few documents of proof of residential address, and then you may need supplementing documents if there is any visa requirements, if there are any court orders or any AVO or DVOs in place. Another good thing to bring in is if your child has any screening reports or has been engaging in speech therapy, occupational therapy, has any pediatric reviews or diagnosis that would assist with enrolling in school. It's always good to bring them in at this point too, because sometimes there's some extra procedures that we do need to put in place to ensure a smooth transition into public schools for your child. If you're a non-local and out-of-area application, that means you don't live in the area for that school. Most schools will have a separate form. It's important to note that schools only take non-local or out-of-area applications where there is space available. If the school is approaching or at their cap, then there will be no space for any non-local or out-of-area applications, and none will be considered. If there are spaces, then the school will form a panel and they will look very closely at the reasons for providing or not providing a space. It's very important that you articulate the reasons of why you would be selecting that school. Please remember and look at the department's policy on non-local placements that we don't consider academic achievement in selecting students to be in a non-local, to be offered a non-local position. Further information can be found on the Department of Education for their non-local procedures. If you are still seeking that, it is important to note that if your child is offered a non-local and out-of-area position in a school, that does not guarantee positions for siblings to follow through in future years. That each application will be assessed at that point in time. So if the school becomes full or close to their cap in between the first child from your family coming and being accepted to the next child coming and the school is now full, there will be no applications taken and no decisions that can be altered around that going forward. So just important for your family to consider when looking at non-local schools. As a department, we encourage everyone to go to their local school. We all offer very similar experiences and are really keen to work with our local communities. So please consider that. If you put in a non-local application, it can be helpful to put in the full application at the same time. May not be essential, your school may not require it, but it does have some information in here that won't be necessarily in there. When you do bring in the completed application form, it's really important that all sections are complete. Don't leave anything blank. If you have to go and look up the doctor's phone number or address, then do so. Make sure it's all there and check it before you bring it in. Once it comes in, if there's a section incomplete, we are unable to process that application and we may have to keep chasing you to get the information brought to us at school. So it can delay the enrolment process. Really important when you are looking at the sections around the parent's education, the parent's current employment, and the different groups that you look at the guidance. Please be honest and accurate with that information at that time. It is taken for statistical purposes. We don't look at it other than that, but the data is swept and does impact our funding. So please just keep those up to date. The occupation and education sections are really important. If you are currently at home and you are not working because you are caring for other children, there is a space to indicate that, and that also impacts the funding. So it's really important that you just put whatever is actually happening for your family at the point of time in Australia, not what you were employed in perhaps in another country. Emergency contacts. These are really important people that your child knows. Because if your child becomes sick or injured at school and we can't get hold of you, we will continue to ring down the emergency contact list. Please keep it up to date. Sometimes we end up in situations where we're contacting somebody who you now have had a fallout with and are not talking to, and they're still on our records. So it can become a bit awkward for everybody involved, or if a family separates, that we have that information, because when an emergency happens, and sometimes they do, we will have the right information. If you have any additional information, there's a section in here around students with disabilities, students with additional needs, separated families, and so on. Please come and talk to us and let us know. The medical information is important that it is relevant and up to date and required, because again, this forms our basis of data and how we manage incidents and medical facts here at school. The permission section is important. There is a box that says online permissions. Now, if you don't tick that, so if you tick no, unfortunately that means your child will not have access to any computers or devices in school, because if they don't have online permission, they won't be created a login at all. So come and talk to us if that's something you're concerned about, because that does have big implications going forward. There's a section around permission to publish. If you tick no, then no images of your children can be used in newsletters, Facebook, online, and that's fine. We keep a list of those children and we don't use their images, but sometimes families don't quite understand what that means. So come and talk to us if you're considering putting no, that's fine, and we'll just talk you through the impact of that. Here's the information of documents you'll need to supply, and then we really do need all of our applications finalised. That should say June, by the 24th. So here is our completed and returned out of area, our non-local form. Consider your reasons. The panel will meet in July. Applicants will be inform sometime in August if they are successful or unsuccessful, and we'll begin our kinder orientation in September. Preparing for a smooth transition for your child to start school. Talk and play together. Discuss school positively. Lots of people say, oh, you're going to school, you're going to have to behave, or you're going to have to learn to read and write. Don't fill your child with lots of negativity around school. School is fun. School is where you'll make friends. School is where you'll learn things. School is where you'll get to play. So talk about it nice, relaxed, and calmly with them. Read lots of stories, sing lots of songs, really develop that language and understanding before coming to school. Provide opportunities for independence. We often see our families with mums or dads carrying all of the bags and the children are skipping down the street beautifully, having a great time. But now's the time for your child to build some independence, to carry their own bag, to be able to open their own lunchbox, to open their yogurt pots, to eat their food independently, to go to the toilet, to be able to follow simple instructions. Go out to different places after COVID-19, obviously. But do take them out and about, visit things, open up their experiences and their world understanding. Develop a good routine that's consistent of healthy food, that has good sleep patterns, and good routines for when school begins. Practice opening lunch boxes and bags, putting on and off your jumper and your shoes. Come along to our transition days and be informed about our school. You can follow our school Facebook page, and closer to the time you can download the School Bag app, which will have information about our school.